What if I told you that every word you say to yourself, every silent thought you repeat, every casual joke you make about your life is being recorded, not by the world, not by other people, but by your own mind? And here's the part most people never realize. Your mind does not hear what you wish. It hears what you repeat. Your mind is always listening. Listening when you say, I'm tired. Listening when you say, I'm not lucky. Listening when you say, this is just how life is. And it doesn't argue, it doesn't question, it simply accepts and obeys. What if I told you that every word you say to yourself, every silent thought you repeat, every casual joke you make about your life is being recorded? Not by the world, not by other people, but by your own mind. And here's the part most people never realize. Your mind does not hear what you wish. It hears what you repeat. Your mind is always listening. Listening when you say, I'm tired. Listening when you say, I'm not lucky. Listening when you say, this is just how life is. And it doesn't argue. It doesn't question. It simply accepts and obeys. Today, I'm going to show you one of the most dangerous truths Napoleon Hill ever uncovered. A truth so powerful that once you understand it, you'll never speak to yourself the same way again. Because the life you're living right now is the echo of what your mind has been hearing for years. Napoleon Hill spent more than 25 years studying the most successful people in America, industrial giants, inventors, presidents, and self-made millionaires. And across every interview, every fortune, every success story, he discovered one invisible force operating behind the scenes: self-talk. Not motivation, not luck, not education, but the silent conversation people have with themselves when no one is watching. Hill realized something shocking. People do not rise or fall based on circumstances. They rise or fall based on what they tell themselves. Those circumstances mean your mind is not passive. It is a command center, and every thought you repeat is a command. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. You are always programming your mind. When you say, I'll try someday, your mind hears, not urgent. When you say, I'm bad with money, your mind hears, avoid responsibility. When you say, I always fail, your mind hears, expect failure. And then it builds your behavior to match the instruction. Your mind is loyal, dangerously loyal. It works to prove you right, even when being right is destroying your future.
Napoleon Hill called this autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is the process of feeding your subconscious mind ideas through repetition until they become belief.
And belief is the blueprint of reality. Your subconscious mind does not understand jokes. It does not understand sarcasm. It does not understand exaggeration. It understands repetition and emotion. So when you repeatedly say something with feeling, even casually, your mind accepts it as truth. That's why people unknowingly sabotage themselves. They keep telling their mind the wrong story and then wonder why their life follows that script. Let's slow this down. Think about how often you talk to yourself when something goes wrong, when you wake up tired, when you see someone more successful than you, when you make a mistake. Most people don't even notice the words they use internally, but your mind notices everything, and it remembers. Napoleon Hill discovered that successful people are not necessarily more positive, they are more intentional. They understand that the mind is always listening, so they choose their words carefully, even in private. They don't say, this is impossible. They say, this hasn't worked yet. They don't say, I'm stuck. They say, I'm learning. They don't say, I can't change. They say, I'm training. That difference seems small, but small. Commands repeated daily create massive outcomes over time. Here's the science Hill didn't have language for, but understood deeply. Your subconscious mind controls habits, emotional reactions, confidence, discipline, comfort zones. Whatever you repeat becomes familiar. Whatever is familiar feels safe. Whatever feels safe becomes your default behavior. That's why people stay in situations they hate. Their mind has been trained to believe discomfort is normal. Now, here's where rich, powerful, and successful people separate themselves. They don't wait for motivation, they install identity. They talk to themselves as the person they are becoming, not the person they've been. Napoleon Hill found that high achievers constantly affirm identity. I am disciplined. I think in solutions. I create value. I finish what I start. Not because it's true yet, but because the mind needs repetition to build reality, and it will shape your behavior to protect that identity. Let me make this clear. Your mind's job is not to make you successful. Its job is to make you consistent with what you believe about yourself. Change the belief, and the mind will follow. This is why negative environments are so dangerous, not because of events, but because of language. Listen closely to the words people use around you. This country is hopeless. Success is only for the rich. Hard work doesn't pay. That's just how life is. Say something long enough, hear it often enough, and your mind accepts it as reality. Successful people are extremely selective about what they allow their mind to hear, especially from themselves. Napoleon Hill identified 5 mental laws related to self-talk. 1. The law of repetition. A thought repeated becomes a belief. 2. A. The law of emotion. Emotion speeds up belief formation. 3. The law of identity. You act in alignment with who you believe you are. 4. The law of expectation. The mind prepares for what it expects. 5. The law of obedience. The subconscious obeys dominant thoughts without resistance. This is why careless self-talk is dangerous. It's not harmless. It's training. Now let's talk about how to reprogram your mind intentionally. Daily mental training, Napoleon Hill style, morning command. Before checking your phone, speak one identity statement out loud. Example, I act with focus and discipline today. Thought interruption. When a negative thought appears, stop it immediately. Replace it. Do not negotiate with it. Language upgrade replace. I have to. Question. I choose to. I can't. I'm learning how. I'm unlucky. I'm building momentum. Evening review ask. What did my mind hear today? Correction creates progress. It needs repetition. Napoleon Hill warned that indecision and negative self-talk are the most common causes of failure. Not lack of opportunity, not lack of intelligence, but mental negligence. People leave their inner world unmanaged and then wonder why chaos appears externally. Here's the final truth you must understand. Your mind is always listening, even when you are joking, complaining, or doubting, and it will build the life you keep describing. So the question is not, can my life change? The real question is, am I willing to change what my mind hears every day? Because the moment you do, your behavior shifts, your confidence rises, your discipline strengthens, your reality begins to respond. Now the choice is yours. You can continue speaking the same words, repeating the same thoughts, reinforcing the same identity, or you can decide today to become intentional. Speak like a leader. Think like a builder. Command your mind instead of letting it command you. Because your mind is always listening, and it will follow your lead.
If you want more content like this,
More mental mastery, more Napoleon Hill-inspired strategies to reprogram your thinking for success. Subscribe now. This channel is for people who are done living on autopilot and ready to train their mind with purpose. Remember, The words you speak today become the life you live tomorrow. Choose them wisely.